Hello and welcome to the Football Community League, where it's the only league on YouTube made for the viewers and by the viewers. We're going to kick it off with the Romanian Super League, where we've got Sepsi OSKI up by 5 points against FCSB. Then we're going to go all the way to La Liga, where we see Real Madrid having the gap closed on them by Barcelona by 2 points, though both of them still hold a significant lead over Atletico. Off to La Liga 2, and we see that Elche also has their gap closed by Tenerife by 3 points. Primera Federación Group 1 sees a slight decrease in its gap, though it maintains fairly similar at a 5-point lead. And then hopping over to Group 2, we see a 4-point gap between Real Santander and Algeciras. In the Copa del Rey, we see that just now entering the first round with teams like Alaves and Atletico Pamplona moving on. Mallorca saw some gameplay with Huayñón getting a goal at right back and a 4-1 win over Salamanca. Off to the Belgian Jupiler League, and we see that RSC Anderlecht has a 2-point gap over Club Brugge. For Antwerp, we saw that Milan de Groof got an assist after being subbed on in a 3-1 win over AA Hunk. And then for Club Brugge, we saw that Victor Whitmans got an assist at left back in a 2-2 draw with KV Kortrijk. To the Belgian Challengers League, we see that Cercle Brugge has 6 points over Club NXT and vying for that top spot in automatic promotion. Off to the German Bundesliga now, we see that FC Bayern has had their gap significantly closed down, only holding a 3-point lead over Borussia Dortmund. To the second Bundesliga, we see Eintracht Frankfurt also has a slight gap, being closed down by Paderborn only being 2 points behind. To the 3 Liga, we see Kiel only has their 1 point over Osnabrück, though it seems like that's the only team threatening them. Off to the Polish Ekstraklasa, and we see that Lech is tied now with Pogori at 36 points. And then Liga Portugal sees that Benfica and Porto are fighting at the top with only 2 points separating them, and Sporting at 31. The Allianz Cup sees Porto, Benfica, BVT, and BRG qualifying for the next phase. Benfica got a 7.6 rating for right back Thiago Quintas, who got subbed off in their 3-2 win over Ferreira. For FC Porto's U23, we saw João Silva got a goal and assist at center mid, and Diogo Ribeiro Lima got a red card at left back in a 2-2 draw. On the flip side of that, we see Gil Vicente played Dustin Vargas, who got a goal and assist from right wing, making sure it was only a draw being taken away from them. Boavista's U19 B squad saw João Thomas got a goal before being injured by center mid 4-1. In the Nike Liga, we see Trnava has a 6-point gap over FC Kosik. In the Turkish League, we see that Fenerbahce has a 7-point gap over Trabzonspor. Off to the Turkish Cup, and we see the 5th round taking place with teams such as Beşiktaş moving on with significant results. Beşiktaş Kan Puyol got an assist at center back in a 3-0 win to move on in their cup. Off to the Croatian HNL, and we see that Dinamo is 8 points ahead of Osijek and has a significant gap at the top. Osijek's U19s saw gameplay from Anthony Hernandez, who got an assist from center mid in a 3-0 win over Orient. Off to the 3F Superliga, and we see that FC Nordsjælland has a 2-point gap over FC Midtjylland. To the English Prem, and we see that Arsenal commands their lead with a game in hand and 3 points over Man City and Liverpool. Speaking of Arsenal, and we saw Rico Ayana get a clean sheet as a keeper in a 1-0 win over Leeds United. Leicester City's put upon Udimying got a goal in a 1-0 win over Burnley, making sure they get some kind of result. Crystal Palace, Eddie Trundlewheel got a goal from right back before being subbed off in their 2-1 win over Burnley. Tottenham played against Brighton and had Jackson Watson get a goal after being subbed on in his 2-1 win. Aston Villa played against West Ham, got a 2-1 win, while Kieran Holt got a 7.8 rating while being injured. And then Newcastle Sergio Michaels got a goal before being subbed off in a 2-0 win over Leeds United. This goal managed to help Michaels get named in the Team of the Week. Off to the EFL Championships, and we see that Luton is vying for a spot back in the Prem, 1 point ahead of Fulham. Birmingham Ricky Receba got a goal in a 1-1 draw with Swansea. And Bristol Rovers' Charlie Wilder got an assist as a central midfielder before being subbed off, with David Seaworth also playing 6.9 rating. For Fulham, we saw Jamie Aubrey get a 7.2 rating at centre back in a 2-0 win over the Bristol Rovers. Sander Verkouter's Ipswich saw him get an assist from the right wing before he got subbed off. Ipswich once again had Van Kouter. He got a 7.4 rating before being subbed off in a 1-1 draw with Stoke. Mark Sloan, playing for Stoke, got a goal in a 1-0 win over Queen's Park Rangers. And for Watford, we saw George Williams get a clean sheet as a keeper, making sure that they get nothing. Luton Town saw Ender Genson have an assist at right back in a 2-2 draw with Portsmouth. Genson once again took to the field as a right midfielder this time with a 4-0 win, getting an assist in that. Genson was named in the team of the week after he made sure to put his name on the score sheet. Coventry's Eddie O'Neill got a clean sheet as a keeper before being subbed off in his 3-0 win over Preston. O'Neill came back out against Sheffield United, though, got another clean sheet and a 2-0 win, making sure United can't walk away with anything. This, of course, got him the man of the match after completing 100% of his passes and saving a shot 7 times that game. Off to the League One now, and we see that Huddersfield is 2 points ahead of Charlton, but it's still a little close. For Bolton, we saw Melis Saparo get a goal as a striker, despite their loss to Lincoln. On the flip side of that, we saw that Chris Dorga got a goal as an attacking mid, and Tom Meyer put in a good shift. Against Leyton Orient, we saw that Tom Meyer came back out again and got a brace from the right back in a 4-2 win. For a third time, we saw Lincoln City with Chris Dorga getting a goal as an attacking mid, and Tom Meyer come back out as a right back in a 1-1 draw against Port Vale. Off to Exeter City, and we see T-Trey got an assist before being injured as a central midfielder in a 2-2 draw against Bolton. For Huddersfield, we see loaned out Willie Stroker get 2 goals, getting one over Port Vale in a 2-1 win. Oxford United had Isaac Webb get a goal in a 4-1 loss to Sheffield United, making sure his team at least wasn't shut out. For Peterborough, we saw Richard Smalls get a goal in a 1-1 draw against Wrexham. Stockport saw Andrew Stone get injured as a central midfielder, while James Wilson got a 7.6 rating as a left back in their 1-0 win over Cambridge. Stockport came back out again, this time with Jeremy Corbyn getting assists as a left wing, and Andrew Stone and James Wilson getting unremarkable performances against Wycombe. Off to the League 2, and we see that York has a 4-point gap against Walsall and a 5 over Bradford City. Barrow had Darth Potassian get a goal as a striker before being subbed off in a 1-1 draw with Northampton. Harrogate's Matthew Broman Brown got a goal as an attacking mid, making sure that Colchester couldn't shut them out, 2-1. Northampton's Ken O'Neill had a 7.4 rating and a 1-0 loss to Cheltenham. Walsall Richard Cartel got an assist before being subbed off in a 1-1 draw with Mansfield. Cartel made sure to make up for the missed points, however, with a goal and an assist to get his team over the edge over Colchester, scoring 2 against their 1. Of course, this left midfielder guy himself, the man of the match, not only doing all that, but also getting himself 2 progressive dribbles, helping him get into the team of the week. Off to the Vanarama National League, and we see that Chesterfield is only 1 game ahead of Doncaster, though they do have a game in hand. At Aldershot, we see Tricky Dicky get an assist in central midfield with a 2-1 win over Field. Dr. Elvis Leon Congo got a goal as a striker before being subbed off in a 2-1 win over Rochdale. Oxford City also played against Field, though they lost 1-2, with Artemis Ryder getting assist for their 1 goal. Solihull Moore's Mustafa got a goal from the left wing before being subbed off, 2-0 win over Barnet. Mustafa came back out again against Aldershot with another goal to get a 1-1 draw. Both of these goals helped him, along with the previous updates, to get him the National League's Young Player of the Month award. Going down another league and moving north, and we see that Chester is up by a game, though still has a game in hand. Darlington had Liam Cook get a goal and an assist in a 2-1 win over Peterborough Sports. And Spenny Moore's Deccan Kieran got a goal as a striker in the 1-2 loss to Boston United. Going south now, and we see that Southend has a 4-point gap over Chelmsford, the Maidstone not far behind. Bath City's Russ Reynolds got a 7.6 rating as a right wing back in a 1-0 win over Wealdstone. Maidstone United also played against Wealdstone, with Ollie Sparling getting a goal as a central midfielder in a 2-2 draw. Sparling got himself named in the Team of the Week with his goal and exceptional midfield performances. Arsenal's U21's Nick Sven got 2 goals as a striker, and also saw appearances from players such as Iano, Sanjeev Saravanan, Enelson Cardoso, and Richard Malik, getting all of them a 2-2 draw against Man City. On that flip side, we saw Long John Stones get an assist as a center back. Brighton's U21 team had Tammy B get a goal as a left midfielder in a 3-0 win over Crystal Palace's U21 squad. This got him the man of the match with a 71% pass completion rate and an 8.0 rating. Birmingham's U21's Gregor Pastores got a clean sheet before being subbed off as a keeper, and Simon Lakaka got a 6.7 rating at right back in a 3-0 win over Stoke's youth squad. Everton had Tyrese Geese get a goal as a striker, Isaiah Pacheco get an assist as a right wing back, along with appearances from the Edwards brothers Jack and Neil. Tottenham's U21 had James Maduka get a goal from the left wing in a 2-0 win over Sunderland. Liverpool's youth squad had Rowley Patters get a goal from central midfield, with Benjamin Monroe getting an assist in right midfield, and Tarek Tarvana get a clean sheet in a 1-0 win. Taranawa got his man of the match with 3 saves, maintaining that clean sheet, despite only getting half his passes completed. Newcastle's U21s saw Vito Habjanic get a clean sheet and Connor Tunian get an assist from center back before being subbed off in a 2-0 win over Middlesbrough's U21. Habjanic got himself 2 saves that game, earning him the man of the match. Man United had Bal Bobkins get an assist from the right wing and Nathan Myers get an assist from the left back, and Mario Calderon get injured in a 2-0 win over Bournemouth. Bobkins got his man of the match, not only getting his assist, but 6 progressive dribbles, making sure that his opponents were sweating. Man United's U18s saw Bobkins come out again, getting a goal from right mid, with Henrik Peterson getting a 6.8 rating from center back in a 3-0 win over Blackburn. Bobkins got himself a second man of the match with 89% of his passes completed. Birmingham's U18 squad had Greg Pastore get a clean sheet as a keeper in a 2-0 win over Bristol Rovers. Chelsea's youth squad saw Michael Mensah get 2 goals from left wing and Yeti Kraft get an assist as a striker before being subbed off in a 3-0 win over the hated MK Duns. Mensah got that man of the match with an 82% pass completion, showing off excellent vision. Everton's U18's Jack Edwards got a goal and assist as a striker, and Neil Edwards, left back, subbed off. Neil Edwards got an assist again before being injured from central midfield, and Jack Edwards got subbed off as a striker in a 1-1 draw with Leicester's U18 squad. Despite that injury, Neil Edwards did get himself the man of the match with an 89% pass completion ratio. Leyton Orient's U18s had Finn Harris get a goal from left back before being subbed off in a 2-3 loss to Liverpool. On the flip side of that, we see Liverpool's youth squad have Benjamin Monroe scoring one of the goals that put Leyton down. Luton's U18 squad saw Luke Pillsbury get a clean sheet as a keeper in a 1-0 win over Swansea. Pillsbury was named man of the match for that, with his 5 saves maintaining that clean sheet. Tottenham U18's Juso Madison got an assist from the left wingback in a 2-1 win over Chelsea U18s. And once again, U18s had Ryan Balls this time get a goal as a striker before being subbed off, and Madison get a decent 7.1 from the left wingback. West Brom saw Marco Brown get an assist as a defensive midfielder in a 3-2 win over Arsenal U18 squad. And then Wrexham's U18 had Stefano Rossi with a 7.6 rating and a 2-1 win over Carlisle. The Wolves had Remus Silvia get a 7.9 rating center back 1-0 win over the QPR. This, of course, helped Silvia get a man of the match, winning 90% of his headers, only missing one of them. Off to the Hungarian Liga, and we see that Ferencváros got an 8-point lead over Ferencváros, being one of the few gaps that aren't being closed this update. Off to the Eredivisie, and we see Feyenoord 7 points up against PSV and clear 8 over Ajax. Seems like a battle for second as of right now. To the Cinch Premiership, and we see Celtic still maintaining their lead 6 points ahead of Rangers. Dundee United, Pierce Flannery got an assist from the right back and Slugger McManus got red carded in their 1-1 draw with the Rangers. The St. Johnstone's reserves played Andrew Ballantyne, who got a clean sheet in a 1-0 win over Hamilton reserves. And the Celtic youth squad got Toaster Thief a goal coming off the bench in a super sub performance, before being subbed off again, confusingly, in a 3-1 loss to Rangers. The Rangers U18 squad had Jamie Chalmers score one of the goals before getting injured in the right mid. Off to the Austrian Bundesliga, and we see RB Salzburg only maintaining a 3-point lead over SK Rapid. To the Ligue 1, and we see PSG maintaining a 13-point lead, making sure that everybody knows that league is theirs. To the Ligue 2, and we see that FC Lorient has 7 points over Paris FC, hoping for that spot to go to the top. Stade Laval had Luke Tudbury get an assist from the right mid. To the Serbian Super League, and we see Crvena Zvezda 5 points ahead of Partizan. To the Fortuna Liga, and we see Slavia Prague tied with Sparta Prague and only 1 point ahead of Mjada Boleslav. To the Serie A, and we see that Inter Milan is only 4 points ahead of Napoli and AC Milan. For Fiorentina, we saw Marco Greco get a goal from striker, despite losing 2-3 to Atalanta. Greco once again came out and made sure this one was a win, getting a goal over Palermo, being the only goal of the game. For Napoli, we see David Aguilar get an assist from central midfield in a 3-1 win over Sassuolo. Aguilar was named in the Team of the Week for this assist, being only one of 2 Napoli players in that. Off to the Serie B, and we see that Spezia has a 5-point lead over Verona. Salento had Shiwakshi get a goal from the bench in a 3-0 win over Benevento. This, of course, coming from a super sub, she got named in the Team of the Week, being one of 3 from his team named on that squad. Fiorentina's U20 squad had Bernard Trimonti get 2 goals from the right wing in a 3-1 win over Cremonese. And Trimonti, of course, got man of the match for that, along with his 91% pass completion ratio. AS Roma's youth squad saw Juan Giacomo Zanetti get a goal in the central midfield, and Romulus Silvia get an assist from centre back in a 1-1 draw with Verona's U20. Silvia won 75% of his headers and got himself a man of the match for his exceptional performance. The Greek Super League is in hot pursuit as PAOK has 5 points over the Olympiacos. The Swiss Super League sees the young boys only 1 point ahead of second place Zurich and 2 points ahead of third place Lugano. The Zurich U19 squad fielded Farhart Muzakar, who got a goal from central midfield, drawing the game with Servette youth squad. Muzakar once again came out, got his name on the score sheet, and made sure they got a second draw. In the Champions League, we see finally the magic number has emerged, and that is 12 points to guarantee your spot in at least the playoffs. 15 teams hitting that magical threshold. In the Europa League, that magical number seems a little bit higher, with 13 points being the number, with only Tottenham barely reaching that thresh at 6th. The Conference League, and it seems that everything is set in stone after 6 games, the top 8 being qualified at 12 points, and everybody down to 7 points came into the playoffs. Arsenal's youth squad, the U21, saw Nick Sven got a goal as a striker, and Saravan and Cardosi and Malik all appeared in their 3-1 loss to the young Feyenoord squad. On the flip side of that, young Feyenoord Sven got an assist from central midfield. For Barcelona B, we see Clarence King got a goal from the bench, and DSZH subbed off from central midfield as they lose 3-2 to Man City's U21 squad. Real Madrid's B squad saw Sami Arabed get a 7.2 rating from the right wing and subbed off in a 1-1 draw with Newcastle's U21s. Manchester United's U21 squad saw Bob Bobkins get a goal from the right wing and an appearance from Nathan Myers and Mario Calderon. RB Leipzig's U19 saw Christian van Lecklegen get a 7.5 rating central midfield in a 1-1 draw with Leeds U21s. Van Lecklegen got the man of the match with his 5 key passes, despite it only being a draw. Liverpool's U21 squad saw Ray Houghton get a 7.5 rating and Benjamin Monroe get a 7.3 rating, with Donafie, Snoopy, and Patters all making appearances covering that entire midfield. Houghton got the man of the match for that with his 87% pass completion. That seems to wrap it up for this episode of the FMCL. I hope you guys enjoyed it, because I know I did. Don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, and a comment. Tell us how your players are doing.